Okay, we're rocking and we're rolling. All right, hey, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? All right, my name is Chris. So for those of you who are new to the group, I want to say welcome. Um, and for those of you who were invited to the group by somebody else, I want to say, and we personally don't know each other, I want to say welcome. My name is Chris. I'm the moderator for the group, and I basically post videos about Forex. I offer advice about where to buy, where to sell. Um, the group is basically centered around investing in foreign exchange. Uh, that's basically what the group is about. So I want to say hello. Thanks for joining. Um, let's get right into it. Um, the topic of this video is going to be about what is Forex? What is Forex, right? Um, One of the goals of the group that I want to move forward is that I want to get everybody on the same page. I realized that I was talking about advanced topics, and some of you might know what advanced topics are, and some of you might not. Then I started talking about intermediate stuff, and some of you might be familiar with the intermediate stuff, and some of you might not. And I realized that in order to really get everybody on the same page, so the people who know about the advanced, who don't know about the advanced topics, can kind of learn by watching from the beginning. So we're gonna get everybody on the same page, and we're gonna start from scratch, and we're going to break this thing down into small pieces so everybody understands, and I'm not leaving anybody out when I'm discussing these topics. So that's one of the goals, and this is one of the first videos that really accomplishes that. um, in case you guys don't know, this video might be about 10 minutes or so. There may be a part two to it, and so if you have 10 minutes, I would suggest you can sit down and watch it. If you don't have 10 minutes, put the video down, and come back when you do have 10 minutes. So without further ado, let's get right into it, right? So what is Forex, right? So Forex is where countries exchange their currencies when they're trying to do business overseas. So for most of you in the group, you guys live in the United States, including myself. Some of you live in the UK, but we're gonna stick with the majority. Most of us live in the group live in the United States, and the United States has its own currency called the United States dollar, right? That's the currency that we use when we want to buy and sell stuff. When we want to pay for gas, we pull out US currency. When we want to buy groceries, we pull out US currency, right? That's what we use in the United States, right? Now, um, whenever people want to do business overseas, right? There has to be some type of exchange that exists, so they can do that, and they can lock in their the value of their currency, right? So because most importantly, the value of the currency is always changing. It's always changing based on economic factors, political factors, so on and so forth. Right? Economic factors meaning whenever the United States is doing well economically, other countries in the world want, and investors want to put their money into the United States, right? Because it's attractive to do so. Likewise, when the United States is not doing so well, a lot of people want to pull their money out of the United States, and they may want to put it into another country such as Switzerland, because of its stability with the Swiss banks. They may want to put it into a more risk, um, I don't want to say risk free, because there is no risk free, there's always risk, but they want to put it into a country that is not so economically up and down. It's more safe. Their money is safe there, and they're not going to lose value, right? So the value of the currency is always changing, always changing. Keep that in mind. The value of the currency is always changing. So um, whenever a company, let's say a Chevron, a Coca-Cola, a Ford Motor Company, whenever a paperclip company like 3M wants to do business, not only in the United States, it's cool to sell stuff to your own people, but hey, what if somebody in Canada, wants to buy paper clips from you? You're not going to say no to business, are you? No, you're not. So companies in the United States do business with Canada, and likewise, Canada does business with the United States, right? So whenever that happens, people go to the foreign exchange market to exchange the value of their currency. So I like to keep things simple. If you go to YouTube and you go to Google, there's all these technical terms, and when I first started, there was all these technical terms to explain what I'm explaining to you now. But I like to keep it simple so everybody understands, what's going on a basic level, right? So on a basic level, whenever a company wants to do business, let's say 3M wants to do business, which is they sell paper clips, they sell sticky notes. They're like an office supply stuff company. Whenever they want to sell paper clips to somebody in Canada, this is what's happening. Um, they go to the Canadian market and they say, okay, I'm going to sell you paper clips, right? The person in Canada says, okay, I want to buy those paper clips, but I have Canadian dollars, right? The United States, the company from the United States, okay, sure, I can sell you the paper clips, right? But you're going to have to pay for it I'll either take the Canadian dollars, right? Or I'll take it in US dollars, right? So more than likely they're going to take it in US dollars. So the person in Canada has to buy US dollars, right? They have to buy US dollars. So how does that work, right? The foreign exchange market. This is what they do when they want to buy US dollars to pay for their paper clips, right? So somebody in Canada will go to the foreign exchange market and they'll say, okay, for 1 US dollar, right? I have to pay $1.23 Canadian dollars, right? Right? That's basically how that works, right? So they'll buy their US dollars. They'll buy their US dollars and they'll exchange the US dollars for their paper clips, right? Now, um, that's how that works, right? There might be a part two to this. I'm kind of running low on time, but I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. Now, let's say 3M wanted to take, let's say 3M said to the person in Canada, listen, I'll take, and you don't have to pay me in US dollars. I actually want your Canadian dollars because for whatever reason, I think that the value of my own currency is going to depreciate. So I'll take your Canadian dollars, right? So the person in Canada says, okay, I'll pay you in Canadian dollars. Now, why would the company do that? The company will do that because, okay, by taking their Canadian dollars, they're hoping that they're hope they're hoping that the value of the U.S. currency is gonna depreciate. So if they take U.S. CAD at 123 and it drops to, let's say the Canadian dollar gets stronger and it drops to 120, it drops to 121, right? They just locked in a profit by anticipating that the US dollar is going to be weaker, and they actually were able to do business in a currency that was able to hold its value. All right, so I'm going to make a part two to this, right? But that's basically in a nutshell what's going on, right? I'll be right back with a part two.